This documentary about overcoming life's darkest moments isn't on Netflix, and that's exactly why you need to watch it. Look, I've been through my share of tough times, and I'm tired of watching feel-good fluff that barely scratches the surface. My Silver Lining documentary on lrodvinetwork.com is different. It's raw, real, and completely transformative. This isn't some glossy production designed to make you feel better for 30 minutes. It digs deep into what it actually takes to turn your pain into purpose. The storytelling is so powerful that mainstream platforms wouldn't touch it. But that's their loss and your gain. You get exclusive access to stories that will genuinely shift your perspective on adversity. I watched it 3 times because each viewing revealed something new about resilience. The convenience of streaming it on lrodvinetwork.com means you can pause, rewind, and really absorb these life-changing insights. Don't settle for surface-level inspiration when you can access something that actually moves the needle. Head to lrodvinetwork.com right now and discover the documentary everyone's missing.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Thirsty Topics. Hey, Meryl.
Hey. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. How are you?
Good. Drinking some iced coffee.
Oh, nice. Did you have a good weekend?
I did. We went to a town called Idlewild, which is like a mountain town for anyone in California, which is cool. But it was very fun. I think I'm spoiled though. Like I'm spoiled with mountain towns around us. So it was cool. How about you?
Just basically stayed around the house. Did some grocery shopping, stuff like this. You know,
Oh my
paid
gosh, how much
$8 a gallon for gas. No, I'm just kidding.
I was just gonna say grocery shopping now is like the same price as like a trip to Europe or something.
Oh my God, yes. Something that used to cost $50 is now about 150.
Yeah, I know. The other day I bought like a sandwich and it was $34 for like the makings of just one sandwich. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yes. I have a feeling it's going to get worse before it gets better.
I know. Okay, well, I'm so excited. You want me to start us off today?
Yes.
Yay. Okay, well, this is the event. This is like my Super Bowl that I look forward to every year. As a dog lover and dog breed lover, the AKC released its most popular dog breeds of 2025. So AKC is the American Kennel Club for people that might not know. And every year they release their annual rankings. And this year, the French Bulldog remained the most popular dog breed in the United States for a 4th year in a row. The top 5 for 2025 were French Bulldog, Labrador Retriever, Golden Retriever, German Shepherd, and Dachshund. And so the rankings are based on AKC registration statistics. So they reflect registered purebred dogs. Of course, we love a pound dog and we love a mixed dog here. So like all dogs I love. Maybe Chihuahuas might be at the bottom of my ranking, but but I think like that's so cute. I'm not the biggest French Bulldog fan. Like I'm more of a big dog girl, but I think that's so cute. And congratulations to all the French Bulldogs and their owners out there.
Oh, yeah. I think what you also just showed is insight into, because I always wonder, how do they choose not only which dog, but which breed that's going to, become best in show. So basically, the registrations play a huge part in that, it looks like.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And also too, like the popularity of like who's getting a type of dog and which kind. Now I'm as a Basset Hound person too. I loved when there was one year where I think like the Bloodhound and the Basset Hound were up there. So I was very excited about that. Do you have a favorite dog breed?
I don't know. I mean, I like several different dog breeds. I mean, I love the dog I have, which is a Yorkie. But like the bigger dogs, like the Cane Corso.
Oh yeah, those are
designer dogs too, like the Golden Woodles. It'll be interesting to see if they ever come up with a category for designer dogs, which is basically a fancy way of saying a mixed breed. So.
Oh yeah, because they have the toy breeds That's funny because I feel like the swing from a Yorkie to a Cane Corso is very different, but you have a good diversity lineup there. My favorite overall is, like you said, is more of the mixed. Like I love senior dogs, like big senior dogs to me are just amazing. Like when I see there's one outside that I see like in the neighborhood and it's gray and it just like sits outside with its little gray muzzle and it just is so cute.
Yeah, I mean, I think all dogs to heart are worthy of that award. Just because they don't come from a pure breed status doesn't mean they're not a great dog, you know?
Exactly, exactly. But I also think too it's good for people to have breeds that you know that you love and breeds that it's okay for me to people if like I'm not the biggest Chihuahua person and that's fine. And other people, I think I have some friends that don't want to go anywhere near big dogs that I love because they drool.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's one of the problems with a Cane Corso is not only do you have your size, but they also shed and then they drool.
Yeah.
And I heard the
Yes.
drooling could be really overwhelming at times.
Exactly. And I feel like they go in the category of ones that I love, but I'm a little bit intimidated by. Like, and I would probably never be able to own myself just because I'm like not a alpha owner. Like, pit bulls, German shepherds, Dobermans, Cane Corsos. I think they're beautiful and wonderful. I'm just like, I know I'm not a good owner for those. So I respectfully stay my distance and like them from afar.
And actually, that's a good point too, Meryl, is especially with a Cane Corso. Cane Corso, I mean, I've never owned one, but I've heard they're great family dogs. But the thing is, it's not the type of dog for a first-time dog owner because you need to have a
Yeah.
firm hand. Now, when I say firm hand, that doesn't mean abuse or anything like that, but you
Right.
have to be very firm with that type of dog. Otherwise, the dog is think they're running the house.
Exactly, exactly. That's why I loved having a basset hound because they're like someone said that they were the clowns of the dog breed. I'm like, that's perfect. I need one that is okay if I'm not the biggest like alpha owner and like I need a clown dog just like me.
Well, you know what? They always say that you need to make sure that your dog matches your personality.
Exactly, exactly. And this one would just stop in the middle of walks and be like, I'm done. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done too.
Oh, very fun. And actually, I would love to find out from people what is your favorite dog breed? Let us know on our social media pages.
Yeah, I love hearing it. I love hearing it.
Well, my first topic today um, is actually a very interesting one. And I know we've talked about this several episodes, but Meta, which is the owner of Facebook and Instagram, also YouTube, were ordered to pay $375 million in penalties. So,
Whoa.
what's interesting about this case is that, taking a look at this.
While you look, I'm like, how do we get in on this? I want a slice of that pie.
So basically, this follows a couple of big court cases where they were being sued by individuals that stated that because of their algorithms and also the way that they use their algorithms to make money, it has caused people to have insecurities, possible bullying, issues with um, self esteem, all the kind of things that we talked about before. But now I
Hmm.
guess that the courts have agreed. Now, as far as whether or not this amount will stay, we don't know because again, they said they're going to appeal this. But I'd like to find out from you, Meryl. Do you think that we're starting to see a trend in the accountability of these social media platforms?
Yeah, I still think they'll probably unfortunately win in the end just because they have so many like lawyers and politicians in their pocket and judges and all that stuff. And to them it might just be a drop in the bucket of what they, say they have to pay out like a huge lawsuit that might just be like a little thing for them, a little blip in the radar, and then they're kind of back up and running and printing money basically. Um, so yeah, I think in many ways it's Facebook and Meta and um with the X and all these ones are so like they're just so user not friendly, basically. Like there's not a lot of accountability is what I'm saying, and they're so like talk about capitalism and not really serving the people, even though they seem like they are. So yeah, I think this is the first of a lot that we'll see, but unfortunately I don't think it will make like real change or a dent.
Really?
Yeah, that's just what I think. Maybe I'd love to be proved wrong, but I just feel like these are so even like having an issue with Instagram. I know a lot of people get their accounts hacked, and like people that I know have their business pages taken down, and just the lack of customer service and like helping when so many of us spend our whole, spend a whole bunch of hours a day on these sites, and then like when you actually need their help, they're not there. So that kind of makes me feel like they're not there for the people in every way.
Yeah, the very few times I've had issues, I found it to be almost impossible to get help.
I
And
know.
there's literally no one you can talk to. They force it where you have to go through their online chat and other resources to reach them. You will never get a real person, which I never understood, especially if you're a business that you pay into their service every month. So
Right?
that part really surprises me, and I hope that that changes as well.
Me too. I feel like there should be some law. Like that's crazy if you can't reach an actual person. And there's like I was hacked. My Instagram was hacked a few years ago, and I've had other people. And it's not only that like I can't access it, but someone is actively reaching out to my contacts and like posting photos, and and so it's just like it's crazy, and they make it so hard to reach an actual human being that just seems so illegal when there's such a big entity making so much money.
That's true. And we all see the power of their algorithms because, again, we've talked about this many times. Have you ever looked up something and then all of a sudden you get like 50 advertisements of what you just looked up?
Yeah. Yeah. And it makes me not want to put like all my eggs in their basket. Like after the Instagram thing happened, I really did take pause in how much I used it as a platform. And of course, I have to like throw up show flyers and all that kind of stuff every now and then. But I think it made me be like, okay, well, if this platform does not care at all about the user experience or like helping humans or like who's using it, then I'm gonna definitely scale back on what I, post on there.
I don't blame you, Merle. I do not blame you at all.
Good. Well, someone that I am blaming a lot again and again, Tiger Woods was arrested after a rollover crash in Florida. He was arrested March 27th in Florida and later released a roll. And he was later released after a rollover crash that led to misdemeanor charges of DUI with property damage and refusing a lawful test. There's multiple reports that said that he was obviously impaired, but then he reportedly tested negative for alcohol on a breath test, raising questions about whether medication or drugs may have been involved. And he was released about 8 hours in custody. So I'm sure you have lots of thoughts too. Like to me, it's just how many times is this person gonna like have a crash and everything? And I just think of course he's a celebrity. We think he's cool, all that stuff. But if this person was just a random everyday person and they had so many crashes on their record, and it's like it's one thing if you want to struggle with drugs and issues on your own, but when you involve like driving and other people, he could have killed a family. He could have killed a person walking down the street. So at this point, like I just don't think it's cute or interesting. I'm like just either like get help or like stop driving altogether. And it's like irritating to me.
Yeah, I mean, there's several thoughts that come to mind for me. The first is I was very shocked at how many crashes he was involved in over the last several
Mhm.
years. That shocked me. I mean, several.
Yeah.
The other thing too to keep in mind too is that after he passed the field sobriety test, I guess I'm a little confused and I don't know the law very well. But how is he charged with DUI if he passed the field sobriety test just because he refused to give blood and urine? I mean,
I
maybe
know.
no, I don't know the law again, but I would think that if he passed the field sobriety, why are you going further with it? Um, Also, people have to understand he's a celebrity. He's a big name celebrity. So His lawyers have probably drilled it into his head what to say, what to not to say, and make sure you ask for an attorney. Doesn't mean
Yeah,
you're innocent, but when you're a celebrity, you are really coached hard by your legal team on what to say and not to say. It doesn't necessarily mean guilt or innocent.
exactly. And what's that saying? Like driving is a privilege and not a right, you know? So it's like if you do, and I do feel for him if he's on like if it's serious and he's not drunk and he's on like all these medications and we don't know, you know, what he's on. Like obviously, if he needs to take a bunch of medications, that's fine. But then if that alters you to the point where you can't drive, like I'm sorry, but you're rich, so get a Waymo all the time or get an Uber or like I feel like he could afford a driver at this point. So I don't know. It at this point, I'm like they should just not allow him to drive because I just think when you're in the on the road, it like and yeah, like you said, this is his a numerous crash. Then maybe like take a break for a few years and get a driver.
Yeah, that's the other thing too that bothers me. Now, no one should be drinking and driving, period. You have
Right.
Uber, you have Lyft. There's several different options that you have in order to get home safely. But when you are a very rich, wealthy entertainer, which he is, he's a professional
Yeah.
athlete. Money is not an issue. You can hire a limo or let's say an SUV to come pick you up and bring you home or bring you to where you need to go. There is zero reason for you to be driving drunk or even intoxicated. That part really shocks me. It's almost like the arrogance portion of it because, again, when you're the average person, you don't have much money. There's an argument to be made there, which I don't agree with, but I can see the argument there. When you have the resources that the average person don't have and probably never will have, to me, there's no excuse for that. There really isn't.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I think that's what annoys me the most about this is like he's one of the best or was one of the best athletes in the world and really had all the money and access and all the things he could be doing to like help children or just, you know, like I don't know. It's annoying to see someone that has like the most opportunity in the world kind of squander it, but whatever.
That is true. That is
If I was the
true.
police person, I'd be like, whatever. Could you imagine if I was a judge? I would just be like, this annoys me. Next.
Right, that call won't go too well after that comment.
Exactly. I'm just like, Tiger Woods, you're annoying me. Guilty. Okay, bye. Depending on like how much coffee I've had and if I'm hungry or not. It's a good thing I didn't go into law. I'm sure all of us agree.
This documentary about overcoming life's darkest moments isn't on Netflix, and that's exactly why you need to watch it. Look, I've been through my share of tough times, and I'm tired of watching feel-good fluff that barely scratches the surface. My Silver Lining documentary on LRADTVNetwork.com is different. It's raw, real, and completely transformative. This isn't some glossy production designed to make you feel better for 30 minutes. It digs deep into what it actually takes to turn your pain into purpose. The storytelling is so powerful that mainstream platforms wouldn't touch it. But that's their loss in your gain. You get exclusive access to stories that will genuinely shift your perspective on adversity. I watched it 3 times because each viewing revealed something new about resilience. The convenience of streaming it on LRADTVNetwork.com means you can pause, rewind, and really absorb these life-changing insights. Don't settle for surface-level inspiration when you can access something that actually moves the needle. Head to LRADTVNetwork.com right now and discover the documentary everyone's missing.
Well, we have another story regarding the automobile. Now, this is an interesting one. I would love to get your take on this. But there's a viral video going around of a wife who found her husband sleeping in his car to get some peace and rest. So the viral video shows a wife discover her husband sleeping in his car after work to gain peace and rest, highlighting a need for personal space. The man refuses to come inside, citing a need for quiet, leading to discussions about mental health, relationship strain, and the need for decompression time.
Wow. I I mean, obviously, like he's right. We all need time to decompress. I don't know how long. Like if someone's in there 15 or 20 minutes, that's okay. If it's like going on 4 hours, you need to come in and like this was your choice to have a kids and a baby, so like live with it, lay in your bed, literally. But I mean, I'm sure you do it too. Like a lot of times I will take an extra few minutes just to sit in my car. Like if I went to the grocery store and I just want to be in my car to like check my messages and and a lot of
Mhm.
times then my boyfriend will message me and be like, I'm looking at your location. Are you coming in? So I know how that dad probably feels where you just need some alone time. But I feel like if you're a family, you could work it out where maybe like everyone gets a half hour in the bedroom to just decompress by themselves and like the other one helps or not.
That's true. That's true. For me, I I can understand this to a certain point. When you come home, I'm guilty of it too. Sometimes you get on your phone and it takes you a few minutes to get in the house.
Yeah.
But he actually, not only did he fall asleep in the car, but when his wife came out to the car, he refused to get out of the car. That's a
Yeah, that's bad.
whole different set of circumstances.
Exactly.
I mean, if you really feel that bad where you don't want to go into the house with your husband or your wife, and you really need to sit in your car for, I don't know, hours or an hour just to get away from them, I think you have much deeper problems in your relationship than you are admitting.
Exactly. Like there's times where I'll just tell Jack like, "Hey, I need to flop on the bed and like in air conditioning and just be by myself and look at my Pinterest page or something." And so we communicate though like I need 45 minutes alone and then it sounds like also the wife didn't really know how long this was going to take. So I feel like if the dad was just to say like I'm going to go for a walk by myself for an hour and like I promise when I come back I'll be in a better mood and I'll be more helpful and like I'll help you with the kids and now you can be free for 2 hours. That would be one thing, but like yeah, hiding in the car and not coming out is maddening.
Oh yeah, and what was so crazy? I saw the video, and the wife even offered, "Well, I'll sit in the car with you." He's like, "No." I'm like, "Whoa, okay."
Whoa, yeah, that's kind of weird. I would just drive away if I was him.
I don't know, Meryl. Do you think you would feel a certain way if your boyfriend
No,
is like sitting in the car, he doesn't want to come in, he don't want you in the car with him. He ain't going nowhere now. He's just sitting in the car. He just don't want to be near you.
no, then that's a sign that I think they need to build in better structure throughout their day that they could get even like 20 minutes alone. And also, I would just say come into the house and you can relax like in the bedroom or in a basement or you don't need to be like sitting in your car the whole time. But I don't know, that sounds weird. Part of me, the paranoid part of me is like, is he texting someone else? Or like I don't want to jump to the fact that they're having an affair, but I also feel like that's that's like a sign that I feel like when people are having that type of stuff, they tend to like sit in the car and text on their phone for a really long time and not come into the house. So if I was that wife, I'd be like, I would check his messages too. Not to make it toxic, but
Okay, okay. Well, it doesn't surprise me from that response. Most women will probably feel the same way.
exactly. Like, yeah, like if my boyfriend was spending a long time in the car just acting weird, I'm like, what else is going on? But maybe it's innocent and maybe he really just does need time, but I'd still it sounds like they really need to work out some like boundaries of just when they each get to unwind by themselves.
That's true. That's true. But I guess I am a little surprised that when she offered to sit in the car with him, he went no. That surprised me
Yeah,
because there's a lot of women would at that point go from 0 to 100 at that point.
I know, exactly. And of course, like we all have moments where our partner irritates us and everything, but it's like you guys should be able to relax together and just de-stress and de whatever together. Not it sounds like they're like adversaries too.
That's true. That is so, so true. I would love to find out from our listeners, if you were the guy, do you think he's right and wanted to have that peace and quiet away from his wife in his car, away from her? Or if you're the wife, do you think he's wrong for that? And maybe why? So I would love to know that from our listeners.
Exactly. The other day, I would have understood actually if my boyfriend needed a break because we were on like a 4 hour road trip and he said that I had like pool noodle man energy where I kept on using my arms and in the passenger seat. And he's like, I was very animated and like talkative the whole time. And so I think, but we went inside and he was fine. But I'm like, I would have understood if I was needed a break from my pool noodle. Um, okay, well, something that not to completely change the subject, but I thought this was so interesting and really, just something I thought we would have fun talking about. Where there was an article that came out, it was sparked by the Bulwark, an article earlier in March, published by a site called the Bulwark, titled "Thirst Traps Over Think Tanks: Democrats Want Hotter Candidates on the Ballot." Which then spilled over into both Fox News and New York Times, which of course they talked about how of course they jumped on the fact of talking about that Democrats don't have any attractive candidates and blah blah blah. So this just kind of opened up a conversation on if we need hotter leaders in politics and if that will help. And so, I always think back to like JFK and Bill Clinton and Obama for a certain, for a lot, and I find they were all considered like pretty good looking sharp looking people. And then we got into, no offense, I think Joe Biden was a very nice looking man when he first started, but it's not his fault. He's just a little bit older, so he didn't really have the same kind of like appeal that I feel like some of our younger, more virile leaders had. And then there's just talk, I feel like, in the Democrat Party about, I mean, and obviously, like, I'm not saying right now Republicans are killing it either with some of the choices and some of the leaders, but basically they were saying, are we in a hotness deficit, and would that help moving forward for the Democrat Party? And I know, like, some people find Gavin Newsom very attractive, our governor here. A lot of people call him zaddy and stuff, and other people think he looks really slimy. I know, like, AOC, a lot of people think she's beautiful. So I wanted to ask you, like, do you think that this is just like, could a hotter, more charismatic candidate help moving forward? And is that something we need to actually be thinking about?
Well, having a quote unquote attractive or hot candidate, as some people call it, is great for the initial wave. In other words,
Yeah.
okay, you can get them to pay attention to you, but that only gets you so far. Because at some point, you're going to have to start speaking on what you're going to do, what your platform is. And we've all heard the saying that a person is beautiful until they open their mouth. And depending
Yeah.
on their mouth, either is going to keep them being a beautiful person or turn them to a very ugly person.
Yes. Yes, totally. And you're right. And I think it does help in terms of, I mean, I think just naturally, like, we're going to trust people a little bit more that just look presentable and that are pleasing to our eye. I feel like we're just like, it doesn't have to mean like standard attractiveness. I feel like there's lots of people that are attractive that aren't like supermodels, but they just have that certain something about them. And so I think that, I don't know, we vote in like who we want to invest in and believe. And I think that could be, that's true. And to me, if like a political leader looks like they take care of themselves, like that was something I really loved about Kamala. Kamala. I don't know why I'm saying it weird, but like she looked just presentable and put together, and just someone that I'd want to trust, because I'm like, okay, this looks like someone that is investing in themselves and like appearing, nice and put together. So that makes me just, whether it's like subliminally or not, like trust them a little bit more.
Oh, sure. And the other thing too is a lot of people do prefer their politicians to look professional. Professional doesn't always mean showing up in a suit and tie every day. It could be a
Yeah.
dress slacks, but in other words, you look presentable. Now, there are some politicians, and I'm not going to name any names, that would come to the floor in jeans or, some shorts and a hoodie. Everyone has their own style. And I've always learned that, especially when you're in the political arena or even in the business arena, um, your looks dictate the first thing that people perceive about you. Whether
Yeah.
it's right, whether it's wrong, whether it's fair or not, that is the first thing that they look at. to form their opinion about you. So I don't think there's anything wrong with being professional how you look. I really don't.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'll tell you here, there's one, this is the last thing I'll say on the subject too, but it's so emotional for me or whatever. But there was a rep, Katie Porter, that I think she was like, I mean, she's a California, she's a representative from California, but a video of her went around of her like yelling at one of her subordinates. I think we talked about it a while back, but she was like off mic, or she didn't know she was recording, and there's a few videos of her treating some of her staff like really, really bad. And just, I don't care. She's not a beauty queen in any means, but if she was, like, I don't care at all what someone looks like. And I actually don't care what party they are. Like, I don't care if she's Democrat or Republican. That to me, like, I hate that. And I feel like that is like, I would rather vote for someone that's like nicer, that's not in my party, than someone that I know like off the books is like a complete fraud and just treats their staff horribly. So like, right away, like I don't want to say like I hate her because I don't know her, but that is someone that I would like never ever ever vote for, and I have such a bad taste in my mouth because it's like you see what they're really like, and then it's like horrible. And she was like an evil witch, and I just think that's really annoying to me.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. In fact, I remember that. And let me tell you, those
Yeah,
kind of mics, they take off the veil. They release the curtains, and you see what that person is really, really like. Because just like everyday people, most people are different in front of a camera than they are behind that camera. So you get a chance to
yeah,
see what they're really like, and you're like, wow,
I
okay.
know. And I would someone rather have opposing viewpoints to me, but be like a kinder person or be at least who they say they are than see something like that. Like that to me, I was like, ugh, God, like just drop out of the race right now.
Yes, I can definitely understand that. Well, for my last topic, we're going to end on a great note here. So I'm quite sure everyone has heard of Five Guys.
Yeah.
So Five Guys gives out $1.5 million in bonuses to 1,500 employees.
Wow. I love that.
So Five Guys CEO handed out $1.5 million in employee bonuses after failed buy one, get one deal. I don't want anyone shooting me. Okay, it was a crazy statement to make, but okay.
That's crazy.
So basically, the CEO sought to make things right with his employees after a February 17th buy one, get one deal that overwhelmed the stores. So after a failed buy one, get one offer to celebrate the Burger chain's 40th anniversary, CEO Jerry Merle, 82, gave out 1,500 checks, $1,000 per impacted store, um, to his employees, totaling a value of $1.5 million per an interview with Fortune. So he stated that I don't want anyone shooting me in the back or anything after that first day because we really screwed it up. We had no idea that we were going to get that kind of response, he joked. Merrill jokingly said that he got the money for the bonuses from funds he was going to use to buy his wife a fur coat. Wow, what the hell kind of fur coat is that? But anyway,
Exactly.
so still, she still looks at me like I'm stupid, he said, but I thought it was worth it. They worked so hard, they were so overwhelmed. That is a feel good moment. I love that. What about you, Meryl?
Me too. I do too. And I feel like in a world where, I mean, we just talked about like Facebook and Meta and Katie Porter and all these people not treating their employees very well. And it's so nice to hear a place that invests in their people and is just, yeah, I think that's amazing. That will make me now, maybe for dinner tonight, I'll get a Five Guys.
There you go. Now, I may be ignorant on this question, and maybe you know better. What the hell kind of coat is he buying for $1.5 million?
I know exactly because I feel like even the fanciest coats are like $10,000. Like I think that would have to be the most rare jacket and animal people have ever seen.
Exactly, but you know, it kind of highlights another thing, Merle, that we don't talk about too much is when you're the owner or CEO of a major organization, yes, you are going to get paid and compensated very well. We all know that. Okay, I
Mhm.
get that. That's part of business. But I'm not saying give away everything, but show some appreciation to the people on the front lines because without them, you wouldn't be enjoying that lifestyle.
Exactly.
So that was a great way to end our segment.
That's a feel good one. I love that one.
Well, Meryl, talking about feel good, what do you have coming up?
Yay. Well, I'm excited about a show Thursday, April 9th at Flappers in Burbank, which is actually, strangely enough, very close within walking distance of a Five Guys. So,
Hey, there you go. Dinner and a comedy show.
exactly.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching and listening to us. And also, too, give us some feedback on some of the things we talked about today. Me and Meryl would love to know your opinions on these items.
Exactly. I'm sure you have opinions. And if someone, yeah, I'm not going to say it. Never mind. I was going to get us in trouble. Never mind.
Well, if you're in the area, make sure you stop by Flappers to support Meryl. She would love to see you.
I would.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching and listening to us. I'm Lawrence Elrod.
I'm Meryl Klimo.
Take care, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.
This documentary about overcoming life's darkest moments isn't on Netflix, and that's exactly why you need to watch it. Look, I've been through my share of tough times, and I'm tired of watching feel-good fluff that barely scratches the surface. My Silver Lining documentary on lrodthenetwork.com is different. It's raw, real, and completely transformative. This isn't some glossy production designed to make you feel better for 30 minutes. It digs deep into what it actually takes to turn your pain into purpose. The storytelling is so powerful that mainstream platforms wouldn't touch it. But that's their loss and your gain. You get exclusive access to stories that will genuinely shift your perspective on adversity. I watched it 3 times because each viewing revealed something new about resilience. The convenience of streaming it on lrodthenetwork.com means you can pause, rewind, and really absorb these life-changing insights. Don't settle for surface-level inspiration when you can access something that actually moves the needle. Head to lrodthenetwork.com right now and discover the documentary everyone's missing.